Big new updates coming out this week as the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, is continuing to have massive ramifications on the crypto market. It is getting worse and worse and worse as the days go on in terms of what's happening behind the scenes, actual true bankruptcy being filed to the degree that we've never seen before in the crypto space. This right here is one of the worst things that could have possibly happened, and it's starting to have an even bigger reach as we now have US and South Korea. By the way, that's where Dogecoin is from, the founder of Luna and also UST. They're now sharing data, both the US and South Korea are, on the cryptocurrency investigations of that situation. South Korea's Justice Minister Han Dong-hoon met with US prosecution officials during a visit to New York this week. News agency reported the U.S. officials present at the meeting included Andrea Giswald. We don't really care about the names. Who the heck is she? I don't care. Just get to the point, article. Anyway, the point of the article is, as you continue to read through it, that they are now, the two officials from the two countries, examined ways to enhance cooperation in the investigation of the major securities fraud and financial crimes. So this guy could be going down big time for what happened. He could be spending actual jail time, a lot of it potentially. His team could be held liable as well. The two sides agreed to share their latest investigation data on the ongoing crypto case. But here's where it starts to get fascinating. As you look further, you see in the US, the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC is investigating Dogecoin and whether the marketing of UST before it crashed violated investor protection regardless, and the regulations in place. So basically what they're looking at is the fact that Dogecoin was marketing UST as a stablecoin pegged to the dollar. However, it really wasn't that. It was an illusion of a stablecoin, and that was clearly shown by what happened when Luna started to go down and the entire thing fell apart. It was proven that the marketing that they did for UST as stablecoin was completely and totally false. If you are thinking about making a stablecoin, don't do it. One of the riskiest things you can do, because you could be in serious legal trouble by even saying the slightest wrong thing about it. Even UST and USDC could potentially be under the lens here, and they could have negative repercussions against them as well. Any stablecoin could have some issues moving forward if the US government tries to get their hands fully involved here. Now, the good news is the US government has been way more crypto friendly than pretty much any other government on a large scale across the world. Now, that's with the obvious exceptions of like El Salvador, for example, which is literally embracing crypto on the fullest level possible. With those exceptions, the US has actually been relatively friendly to it, a very positive thing, and the US has benefited massively in terms of business from that. So it's been a reciprocal relationship, I guess you could call it. And now, though, we're starting to see the US positioning themselves to maybe put massive regulations on the crypto space, specifically when it comes to stablecoins. You will now be made to hold a huge percentage of whatever currency you are stable to, and there will also likely be some types of protections in place for investors that need to be put in place first before you can operate something like that. So I don't think they're going to cancel stablecoins. I don't think it's going to be over. And even if they did, they can't really do much because it's decentralized. They could try, but people would still use it anyway with a VPN. They cannot cancel crypto, but they could hurt it massively if that's what they wanted to do. I don't think that will happen, though, fortunately. However, in South Korea, it is actually possible that in South Korea, they could ban it. Prosecutors are looking into possible fraud charges over there. The Korean government is considering imposing a unified listing standard on cryptocurrency exchanges. So they could really have serious regulation there that actually massively impacts the crypto market in Japan. So that's not what we want to see. We're going to be optimistic, I think, for now, and just assume maybe they won't go too far with it. But at the same time, it's already a very strict environment over there. They are embracing crypto to some degree, but we'd like to see that happening more across the entire globe. And Japan is a big country, so it would be nice to see it happening there as well. They're also very technically advanced, and I would say the US and Japan have a pretty dang good relationship. There's a lot of trust built up. There's a lot of very valuable, smart people in Japan who participate in US companies and vice versa. So that right there is an important thing to remember. I hope you have your own crypto wallets, as Hector the Dude. I have like 20 or 30. no joke. Will BTC still go up, says Danny Poe. BTC right now is probably around 1/10 of the value it'll be in 10 years. Dogecoin, on the other hand, is probably around 1/1000th of the value it'll be in 10 years, potentially. I mean, that's of course, a massive run, but I think that will happen for Dogecoin. I think it really truly will be the one special one that stands out above all the rest at the end. As crazy as that sounds, fate really does love irony. But yeah, it's a good question there. Voyager, Chapter 11 bankruptcy as well. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So this is having massive ramifications across the entire crypto market. Take a look at this. We now have Voyager Digital, who just filed for bankruptcy very recently here after what happened. Basically, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York due to a $650 million exposure to fellow bankrupt crypto firm 3 Arrows Capital. And I wonder, why did 3AC, 3 Arrows Capital, go under and have to file for bankruptcy? Well, it's very simple. They were overexposed to Luna and to UST, and that hurt them massively. So now they're paying the consequences in a very big way right there. Then we also have, even deeper down the rabbit hole, Voyager Digital entered a loan agreement for a revolving credit facility of $500 million in Bitcoin. That was a previous agreement. It's not something they just did. Previously, they had done that in Bitcoin and USDC, and that was in relation to Alameda Ventures, which may be Alameda. I don't know exactly how Sam Bankman-Fried wants us to pronounce it, but that's Sam Bankman-Fried's thing. FTX is where this is coming from. He's the CEO of that. And so Voyager is now in a position where, okay, FTX owes them a lot of money because of the loan, which is kind of a weird thing to think about, because now Sam Bankman-Fried is also giving out loans to other companies while simultaneously owing them money from one of his other companies. He's getting very overlapped. They're kind of weird. Voyager filed for Chapter 11. That's one of the biggest repercussions of what happened with Luna. It's literally made like 3 or 4 crypto firms fall, one after the other, and then that could cause even more to fall. It could put pressure on FTX. It could put pressure on other big exchanges. We'll have to see. Alameda's debt to Voyager is the second largest after 3AC. So they also have debt to 3AC as well. Bankman-Fried's FTX recently extended a US $250 million revolving credit facility to another 3AC exposed firm in BlockFi. So they're trying their best to kind of fix the situation, I guess you could say, but it's proving to be difficult over and over again. Yes, if you just came into live, you're welcome to take a second to press that like button. We're in the process right now of building out another studio, which is the third studio I've had to build out in the last year, and all of them take a very long time. They're not easy to do. This one's going to be hopefully even better than any of the past ones. We'll have to just see what you think about it once it's done. But I'm having to set up multiple different bases of operation in different locations for rental property purposes, which I'm trying to expand on to the degree I can. That's been a ton of work that I've been putting in myself to that. Renovating properties, fixing properties, making deals, things like that. I'm getting into real estate more. And so that is part of the reason why I've been so busy doing stuff. But I'm starting to kind of have a lot of these operations being self-reliant, and so I won't have to put as much time into them, which is exciting because I want to be focusing on cryptocurrency and focusing on finance. We're starting a new channel soon that will be covering finance, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're also doing some big partnerships with, for example, a crypto mining startup that has a groundbreaking technique to market that has not been really ever executed at a successful high level before, and that's the plan here. That's a partnership that will be directly undertaken with the Patreon right now, and so that's very exciting. We also have a partnership with a cryptocurrency that's launching, which, by the way, with this one, I have no association whatsoever with the team. However, that team is, I wish I did, because it's literally perhaps the most star-studded team that has launched a crypto. And by star-studded, maybe we should just say really well-known people in the crypto space, people that are well-respected. In terms of cryptos that have launched recently, none of them really compare to that. And so that's going to be extremely exciting to see that moving forward. I just made a post about it on Patreon today. If you're part of the Patreon, make sure to check out that post. It's available right now. It's a good post, and hopefully you enjoy it. We also talked about Shiba Inu coin releasing a new token, and if you should invest or not. Should you invest? Will you make money from it? All of that in the most recent Patreon article, which, by the way, is currently a public article, so you can go read it regardless of if you're a member or not. That said, most articles are not like that. You do actually have to be a member for most articles, but for this one, we decided to make it public so that anyone can participate in reading it. Matt, are you still, but if you want to actually participate in the things themselves, in the crypto mining cooperation, in the partnership with that, or if you want to participate in the launch, the best way to do that is by joining the Patreon. Papa is here, says, I don't know what that means. Elon keeps supporting Doge, says Danny Poe. And while exchanges are bankrupting, Robinhood is the only one that keeps implementing somewhat. I mean, you can't even use more than 2 decimal points when sending crypto from Robinhood. You can't send more than a few $1,000 per day. I mean, it's very limited what Robinhood's doing right now in terms of ability. I would love to see Robinhood actually taking their embracement, I guess, of technological advancement in the crypto space to a much higher level. They can do so much more for Dogecoin than what they are doing now. And so I really want to see that happen, but it of course will take time before it does. And we'll have to wait. Matt, are you still going to delete your channel if Doge doesn't hit $1 this year? The channel shall be deleted if Dogecoin does not hit $1 this year. That's a good question, Danny Poe. The answer is the channel must go if Doge does not hit $1 this Poe. Dang it, I couldn't think of a rhyme. Oh well, I tried my best. Matt, want to buy my Dogecoin NFT for mint price, says Jack Snipes. Send me a DM if it's an NFT I like. I have been buying NFTs that I like at a higher level recently, and I want to be acquiring even more Dogex NFTs because I really do think Dogex at this current point in time with the team that is now working on it has a much higher chance than any of the other NFT projects that are at around the same valuation in terms of total market cap. It has way more potential, and that is why I'm excited about it. I don't think many NFT projects can say they actually have a leg to stand on. Dogex, multiple partnerships happening, multiple things are happening behind the scenes, including a Dogecoin investment that was just made by the team. So really cool stuff there, and it will absolutely, hopefully, take off during the next bull run. We'll have to see exactly how much it does. Someone said, don't delete, Matt, says John O'Brien. Matt, don't leave. Stay. Entertain us. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.